Mono Blue Devotion. So we played some iterations of this before. One thing this build that's doing that's kind of neat is it's got Arcanist Owl here as a way to find Nyx Lotus, Corridor Monitor, and Thassa. I'm kind of wondering, should we put a fourth Thassa in this deck? Am I gonna regret not having a fourth Thassa? I guess I don't really know what I want to cut, but I feel like this is like the payoff for being in these colors. I guess with Owl and Gadwick and Cavalier, we probably have enough ways to try and find it. Let's try it how it is and see how it goes. I think with these forms of selection, maybe the 3 is fine. We'll see. That's something I'm going to want to think about, though. So this build, as far as interaction goes, just says Brazen Borrower in the main deck for the most part. And then the sideboard is a mixture of anti-red cards, some counter spells, and a couple of spyglasses for miscellaneous stuff. Let's go ahead and hop on into a standard event with this one and see how it goes. Yeah, that's a good point. Someone mentioned there's always more things than the president on the ballot. I've encouraged a lot of people to get registered to vote and go vote in their Democratic primary and feel the burn. I'd also encourage you to Google your state/city plus Democratic primary ballot, because there will be more than just the president to select from on your primary ballot wherever you are. Yet, spending like half hour doing a quick Google search could help you find someone you line up with more on local and even state level. Someone asked why we're playing this card. This is a shuffle effect for after. This is a shuffle effect for after you brainstorm with the blue Cavalier. So you put 2 cards back on top of your deck that you don't want, and then you shuffle. This is looking like a pretty classic case of there's always a bigger fish. We showed up with a kind of mid-rangey deck here. And our opponent's deck is just doing something very similar to what we're doing, but being more obnoxious while doing it.
In this land, we are all connected. Be wary of the ground you walk on.
This was actually a really good draw. So I get to go Owl, Impulse, Cavalier of Gales, Cavalier of Gales off of this. And then I can still Brazen Borrower or something this turn. Zombie Token, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Putting that back. Am I just putting both the lands back? I think I'm just putting both the lands back, huh? And do I want to Brazen Borrower or bounce something here? I think I do. I need a little bit of breathing room from this Cavalier. So it's gonna give them an extra trigger. But I think that's fine. Okay. So they're ramping. This is only at 7. I think I start with this and see where we go. If we had a corridor monitor, we get to make a buck ton of mana. So, worth noting their Thassa can tap something here. I could Gadwick to look for 1. Yeah, that's true. I just Gadwick for 8. Yeah, something, never lucky. That was kind of impressive. Actually, so I actually made a small mistake there, and we didn't get punished for it. Rainer, thanks for the very generous tier 2 and for the 18 months at that. I actually should have only Gadwicked for 7, because if I Gadwick for 7, I could have also drawn Kiora. I didn't draw Kiora there, so we weren't punished for my mistake. But it is worth highlighting that I did do the incorrect thing there. I left only Corridor Monitor. I wasn't thinking about this card. So I gave myself 4 fewer outs by drawing one more card. And for comparison's sake, what's the Hyper Geo? Let's say someone said there were 20, we threw 26 cards, which meant there were 18 or 42 cards in my deck, 8 successes and a sample size of 7. So if I draw 7, we're 8, or if I draw 7, we're 80%. However, if I draw 8 with only 4 successes, we're 58%. So we gain actually 20 percentage points to hit one of our outs if I draw 1 less card, because I double my number of outs by drawing 1 fewer cards. We didn't hit it regardless. We were gonna miss. So like we were gonna be in the 20%. We were in the 20%, but the owl point on the bottom is, yeah, I think maybe you're right. Sure. It's still close enough. For people that are saying there's 1 on the bottom, knowing that there's 1 on the bottom also reduces the size of my deck that I'm looking into. So you're right, there's technically only 6 or 7 outs, but my deck is also only 30 some cards to consider instead of 40. I also shuffled at some point, so like even if I hadn't shuffled and it was on the bottom, I was like rigorously keeping track of it, the percentage is still close enough. A lot of the time when people argue about the semantics of things like that, the answer is, yeah, even if my calculation's not precise, it's close enough. And the amount of effort you spend to get more precise is not proportional to the amount of extra precision you gain. So good enough is good enough in most cases regarding Magic statistics. All right, chat. There are 5 peanut butter cookies left in this tray. How many of them should I eat, and why is it all of them? I would like your opinions. I would like to say I'm incredibly inspired by the people who are telling me I should go upstairs and get the other box. I did actually buy 2 boxes.
Witness the ties that bind us all. Behold nature's true power.
So I have to redraw one of these cards next turn anyways. Actually, I'm going to redraw both of them here in a second, right? And then next turn, we can Agent of Treachery off of this and then double Agent. We can double Agent. Do 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 do. Hey, thanks for the 14 months, Mana Symbol. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
The land fights for us.
So this is free, right? It's just free real estate. Hey, Dear Sushi, thanks for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm glad this deck got to pop off and do its thing a couple of times here. This card's been sweet. I think I actually want Stroke in this matchup too. It was probably wrong not to have that in. Well, so far we've popped off a little bit. It's been a good time. Hey, Beaster, thank you very much. I probably shouldn't have kept this. The spells are all real good. If we brick, that's fine. That's fine. If we die in the next one, I'll rejoin and we'll play another event. I think Simic Ramp is actually probably due for a return, because I think Simic Ramp can match up very well into these blue-white control decks. Where Simic Ramp struggles is I don't think you can likely build it to have a particularly good mono-red matchup, which is super relevant. I think the amount of cards you need to make the mono-red matchup serviceable is really high. Yeah, generally speaking, Ramp is a predator to control these days, yeah. I would love an owl. I already have land 3-4. Narset's hard for ramp to beat. I mean, it's good there. I didn't say it was a free win. I just said, on average, I think it's a fine matchup. In an era of pre-Hydroid Crisis, ramp was not great against control. In the post-Hydroid Crisis world in which we live, that dynamic has changed a bit. Alright, Nyx Lotus it is. They missed a land drop. That's good for us. We're about to have major buco piles of mana. Yeah. So, you could technically play this and eat it in response to the trigger and get it back immediately, which is kind of hot. Kind of neat. Hey chat. Hey chat, got mana? I'm gonna wait till next turn, I think, and play these. Next turn we'll go Owl into 14, into Untap, into Gadwick. Hey, JVL, thank you for the 3 entire years of support. Thanks, Twit. I appreciate you taking the time to do that. Anybody else who's just come in the last little bit, there's a new WotC player survey out, and yours truly finally got a bubble under the content creator section. So if you want to take 15 minutes of your life and fill that out, I'd appreciate it if you check my name. Oh no! Oh no! They dragged my owls off to the underworld, chat. You monster! Bye, Felicia. We will assert ourselves as the dominant monocolored deck. Yeah, let's, I would like to look at 7 cards and take my favorite. That one. That one right there. This deck's a hoot, chat. It's a total hoot. Hey, are you using those lands? Can I get a couple of them? Is that cool? Should I double Stone Rain my opponent, chat? What do you think? oh baby. Oh baby. Can I click submit? I think I'm gonna click submit. I'm gonna click submit. Our sideboard doesn't really have anything for here. Feels trod, man. We are certainly Tron adjacent. Mean our pet to be an owl? That's probably good advice. Spyglass hits cats. Yeah, that's a good thought. Yeah, I don't know if that's the angle we care about, but if it ends up feeling like we care about that, we can consider Spyglass for the third game, for sure. We can just steal the ovens, yes. Seize the means of production. Sure. All I want for Christmas is this Nyx Lotus. This Nyx Lotus. Do 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 do. Beer do 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 beer beer. Beer do 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 do. Think I want to play Corridor Monitor here. Don't say that, you'll summon the communists. Can't we all just get along? So, well, turn 4, Nyx Lotus, then turn 5, we can go Owl into Cavalier. So, this play... Wow, I think they made a mistake there. I think... Oh, they're just going to sack it to draw a card. Never mind. Never mind. We've not played against Teferi yet. Well, I'm really surprised they didn't. Maybe they're a newer player. Or are we dead? Looks like we're dead. They didn't do it because it didn't matter. Hope everybody brought a coat because combo winter's really cold, chat. Hope everybody brought a jacket. Yeah, the overlay did finally get cards. Also, one of the subs here in chat, Lights, dropped me a message. They're the one doing the work on the forking for me. They think they've got everything together to put a fork up, so hopefully we should never have time without Deckmaster having new cards again. Get that, have that put together and set up before the next set gets here, so that way day one, we can just have new things ready to go. Do I want strokes? I'm not sure if I want stroke or not. I'm on the play. I was gonna click submit on the play. When are we getting a combo winter hoodie? Asking the real questions. This hand's at least a little bit interactive. We have Brazen Borrower to send their stuff back to their hand. I think I'm just supposed to keep passing here. I don't know. Monitor lets us do, like, big linear things, which is nice. That was not the third land I wanted for Christmas. Unfortunately, it's something that dies to Murderous Rider as well, but I think I'm just playing it out. Maybe I was supposed to have just played out Brazen Borrower at end of turn. Thanks for the 19 months, Toxic Flames. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Knock. Excuse me? Excuse me? What? What? It does kill the owl too. God, these multicolored cards, chat. These multicolored cards. Get got indeed. Maybe I'm supposed to hold on to that. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to hold on to Borrower to bounce their thing. Keeping both Cavaliers is probably greedy. Land. Sick. Alright, so I get to do this. I get to do this. If they don't have a removal spell here, I actually get to get going pretty nicely. Wow, that's good. This is kind of silly. if this deck is good, but it's hilarious. We drew the nuts! We drew the nuts! This is turn 5, chat! It's turn 5! You know, cast a couple of spells, do the thing. It's cool, no big, no big. All right, so do I think I blink Corridor Monitor here, actually, because I want to be able to tap them off of attackers, I think. I think we untap this so I can tap them off of attackers. Oh, I guess I could have Kiora'd and done this and done this. I don't know, this is good enough, right? I guess I could have done this, and then maybe found another one even. Wow, unlucky.
Let's get moving.
Hey, I don't know if this deck is good, but it's certainly great. That was delicious. That was all right. So we need an owl pet for our owl deck. Where's my profile? Pet select. Uncommon owl. All right, I need to run to the restroom really quick and brush my teeth so I can put my Invisalign back in. When I get back, we're gonna jam some more games with this explosive sweet deck. BRB. I was muted the whole time. Thank you, sorry. I even thank people for hanging out through the short break and everything. Listen, chat, I'm new. We'll figure this out eventually. Wishing I would have kept the owl now at this point, but it is what it is. Green-black with a discard spell, eh? Could be a Soul type brew. Hey, owl's not a bad pickup. That could be something that could hopefully help us find a thing down the line. Nebipolis, thank you for the sub-giftee. Welcome. Confirmed feeling a little Soul type. Uro and Miss. That seems good for us. I'm going to lead on the Owl before the Thassa, because not only do I want to get to a ramp thing as soon as possible, but having this in play will allow Thassa to enter as a creature and draw a card. Ha! Thanks, Mana Symbol. Smack him for 3. Shame their deck's not really getting to do anything. Get to hopefully dig for a Nyx here. If we can find a Lotus, this gets to untap it right away. Yep. And now we're just like looking for a big payoff here. It's a shame their deck's not working. Stars is firing on most cylinders here. They have a Murderous Rider here. You'll see that happen when we play this. And survey took as long as the blue-white control beer. Oh, it's funny because it's sad. All right, little owl. We drew a backup Lotus here, so like looking for corridor monitors at this point, I suppose. Bottoming a payoff feels a little bit bad, but it is what it is. Gobble, gobble. Glad we brought our backup Thassa. I feel you, opponent. I feel you. Sultai, but like their base blue-black Sultai. I wonder if Aether Gust is even good enough here. It could just be that I want a Mystic. I want a Mystic Dispute. I could even think about just clicking Submit, I think, as well. Aaron Forsyth tweeted that there will not be a Pioneer update today. Wizards of the Coast appears to be content with the current combo-oriented version of Pioneer. As I have often done with Modern, I would remind folks that if you're not enjoying a particular format of Magic, I would recommend just not playing it. I mean, it's far from just Aaron's decision, Roth. So it's not fair to be like, this is Aaron's fault. Like, they almost assuredly have a group of people that make these decisions. It does mean I am planning to do less Pioneer on this stream, which is one of the reasons why we're doing an all arena stream today. So, moving forward, I don't think I'm going to be taking more Pioneer decks until they fundamentally change the format again. I do still have a backlog of like 18 Pioneer decks in the queue, and I'm going to play 3 to 5 of those a week while I work through it. But I personally have really not enjoyed the play patterns of Pioneer since Theros release, so I made commitments. I'm going to slog through the ones that are in there, but it's not even about adjusting, Tom. It's just not fun. Like, I don't enjoy the play patterns of, like, having to build my sideboard and then hope I find my sideboard cards in most of those games. It feels like playing Modern. It has nothing to do with win rates, and everything's about the play pattern. I don't care if the decks aren't unbeatable. Most Magic decks aren't unbeatable. Magic has an incredible amount of variance. If I wanted to experience the play patterns that you currently experience in Pioneer, I'd go play Modern, and there's a reason why I stopped playing that format. All right, little owls. I believe in you. Don't fail me now. Well, that's a real good set of good ones there. Pretty much everything that I play here on stream, Ownage Meter, are decks that viewers submit. And as always, if you're wondering what's going to be coming up later on stream, you can always check out my deck queue on my website. Lists everything up there. I think I'd rather play a second owl here than Thassa. I feel like they could have a counterspell or at the very least a removal spell here. So I'd rather get multiple of these in play to start rather than just have one of them die. Yeah, I agree, Sybil. I think people that had modern cards that were enjoying Pioneer because it was something different are going to leave Pioneer because if they want to experience that, they'd rather do it with the bigger card pool. The appeal to me of Pioneer was supposed to be that it was different, and when it stopped being different, it lost its appeal. I agree, JSW. I disagree with what they're doing, but I'm not someone that can change that. So it is what it is. I'll do what I can do, which is play other formats in the meantime. Both standard and historic have been enjoyable. We played blue-red Phoenix in Pioneer this morning with Talrand. It was great. I noticed if you have two of the same cards in your hand, it always plays the ones your opponent knows. That's been a feature for a really long time, actually. It's fine. Oh no, chat, my Oracle only looks at 10 cards now. What will we do only getting to look at 10 cards, chat? Whee! That animation is just great, just like, floop them all to the bottom. Barely worth casting. Hey, Solus, thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, I'm going to start by casting... Am I starting by casting Agent? Maybe I'm just starting by casting Thassa. I guess this is good bait. If they have a counterspell, this probably eats it. Feels like feels like they've had a counterspell because they've known about this Thassa. Okay, so now we can send this here to kill that and send 4 more up this way. I don't know, JWS. Yeah, if you also don't only want to play on the ladder, our last 3 ladder matches were against blue-white control, whereas this is our 3rd match in the constructed event without playing against any blue-white. So that's nice. All right, so do I blink this and look at 7, put 1 on top? Or do I blink this to try and draw another card? I'm already through 2 owls, so I feel like I'm supposed to target this one because I would most like to get another owl. Honestly, I think I just no-sir this. I think it's just like, nah, hard pass. You don't have to take one of the cards. We can just bottom all 7 of those. I'd really like to find a Cavalier at this point would be an ideal draw. Yeah, it's basically what we did, right? We just cried 7 to the bottom. Now, Pelucranos here is going to get to fight this Arcane Owlet and trade it. You have Eat to Extinction. Brutal. Alright, well, wish granted, I suppose. None of those are the Brazen Borrower I wanted for Christmas. Huh? I think we put the 2 spells on top. The question is, do I have enough time to Nyx Lotus and then Gadwick? Or do I just, like, take the Gadwick and draw 6 next turn? I think I just draw 6 next turn. So I want to put my spells on top because they are a deck that plays discard spells. So I don't want to, like, leave a Gadwick in my hand for them to be able to take away. Hey, perfect, Draken. Sounds great. No counterspell here is good. We can't afford to play around something like a dispute here, so we're definitely just on the like jam it plan. So next turn we can go. We're gonna fight this and kill it. Next turn, we could technically go Nyx, Kiora, untap Nyx, but we don't currently have a payoff for all the mana just yet. Yes, the fetches are largely here for Cavaliers. That's a good one for after we draw a bunch. Well,
Keep an open mind.
opponent looks like they might be playing something close to the Sultai control deck that's up on my website that we played a few times before. It's our best draw here. Yeah, probably another Gadwick. I guess that's not even true because they have Narset, right? Agent of Treachery. Agent of Treachery would be good. Okay.
I defy gods, defy nature.
So I don't get to draw a card here, but I do have a thing in play at least. And I have an evasive threat to pressure the Narset potentially next turn, and I have this to diddle down this. Oh, and I get to look at my top 8 and draw a card here, which is excellent. Oh, well, not draw, but look at my top 8 and take the best one, right? Looking for that Agent of Treachery. I think I take the Cavalier. And just, like, hope between Thassa tapping and Arcanist Owl I can take the Narset off the table next turn. Maybe I'm supposed to take Gadwick, actually, for that reason. Cavalier's the bigger body, though, which is nice. I mean, if they attack with the token, they attack with the token. Like, them exiling this off the top of my deck really isn't any different than, like, drawing a random card. Like, I might as well stack a good card on top of my deck if it induces them to, like, make an attack that otherwise wouldn't be great. Oh! Oh, they get to do this. Oh. Wow, they actually have enough mana here to escape Pelucranos and fight with him next turn, too. I think we're probably going to game 3 here. We, like, slogged it out a little bit, but this Narset is going to put us far enough behind. Yeah, they have 10 cards they're bin, so Polycase should be coming back here. And then I think that's unbeatable at that point, since it can stop the Owl from killing Narset. If we could take Narset off the table here, we could be in an okay spot, but with Narset hanging out, I don't think there's much we can do. We can take the third game on the play. Poor little Hootie. I don't think this is a stroke matchup. I think I'm just going to click submit. Yeah, blue Cavalier is not stellar against Narset. That is definitely the case. Me too, Bob. They feel like non-rotating format cards. Prison cards really don't feel like they belong in Standard. Not only when rotation happens in the fall will we have a Standard format with all these prison cards gone, but Historic will also be super well defined and distinct as well. That should be good. Looking forward to Historic having more legs. Yeah, I mean, with Nyx Lotus, we draw a lot of cards, right? Or make a lot of mana, which turns into a lot of cards. This hand's fine. Bounce your play this, play this. They already know what colors my deck is, so I'm just gonna go ahead and fetch this and get my auto pass value in right away. It's crazy to me that saying Historic having very low public data makes the format more fun and diverse. Nah, it makes it casual. I don't know. I think one of the other things about Historic, and this is something that enough people don't think about, I don't think, is because there's not data, you don't really know if it's not diverse. It's all just gut feelings. And that's one of the reasons why Wizards does try to limit the data the way they do, because limiting that data does make it harder for players to objectively be like, this sucks. That's so brutal. I guess we just play this out. I mean, to be fair, if there were more people playing Historic, you would still hear more people complaining. Like the reason why there's less complaints because the player base for it is almost assuredly smaller. Well, I was a little bit sad about having two Thassas, but then they showed us 2 discard spells, so. Am I just passing here and, like, planning to Borrower to try and kill this Narset? Really need to take the Narset out of play before I can get this this Cavalier cast. Hey, thanks for the 6 months, Aaron. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, but like, what are you basing it on? So you're just like using your feels because you don't have reels? Just like going with your gut? And why is your gut meaningful? What meaningful experience do you have? Why is your meaningful experience different than mine, someone who plays Magic 80 hours a week? And that's honestly one of the other reasons why they don't give us access to data, is when even if I didn't play Magic 80 hours a week, if we just both played Magic the same amount, like, there's nothing to distinguish or differentiate. Like, all right, well, you know, you feel this and I feel that, and there's no data, so we just like sit here and fling poop at each other because nobody can say anything objective about it. All right, I think we just divination here with this. Yikes. Look it, Hootie was excited, chat. Hootie's excited, we drew another Hootie. Yes, they said they will announce the ban announcements going forward. Yo, dog, I heard you like announcements, so we're gonna announce our announcements now. Can we just play another Gadwick here? It's like trying to hit land drops. Could easily eat another counterspell here. Yeah. Please yoink their land next turn. Well, we need to draw a land to try and yoink their land, right? And they, like, know about this Agent of Treachery, so I feel like they wouldn't be firing off all these counterspells willy-nilly if they didn't have more. I mean, if they keep dirtling while taking 3 to the face every turn, that's pretty okay for us, right? I feel like the question, why did you stop playing tabletop if my answer being arena is very relevant? Yeah, it is. That's a good metric for them to keep track of, honestly. It's a good question for them to be asking. I think you're far from alone. Unless you're playing Magic for the social aspect, there isn't a reason for the... What's up, dude?
You want the rest from your treats? Because we gave Jacob your other cakes because Mommy gave them to you.
You brought me the last cake?
Yeah, the last one.
You're such a good son. I knew I loved you. You want to say hi to the internet? You're adorable. I love you. Close the door behind you, please.
I'm gonna punch the door open. Land is here, though.
Have fun. Alright, do we just do this? I could Oracle. I think I'm gonna Oracle. They shocked in here, right? So I feel like they must have a Thassa's Intervention. I think we're gonna do this, and then end step will Brazen Borrower on them. What do I think is the best devotion deck? I think the best devotion deck is definitely the mono white devotion aggro. Really, we're killing that as opposed to my cards that are killing you. I wonder if they have Ritual Assault. They probably have Ritual Assault, huh? In case anyone missed it, my wife asked someone to clip Declan. If you could do that, I'd appreciate it. Sure. We did check the daily deals. We got 50% off a, we got 50% off a temple. It was great. I enjoyed it. Alright, put you to 1. I'm gonna play Kiora, untap a land, and then we can end step Borrower again.
Nature flows with vigor.
Poly K, yep. And then this isn't a big deal, because if they go to fight here, I can bounce it in response. So they're just dead, right? Alright, slow and city. That's a great clip, Marty, thank you. Yeah. You saw your brother come down?
Yeah.
How are you enjoying your extra day off of school?
Good.
Good?
I had a good day.
You having a good day?
Candy?
Can't you know you're not having candy.
I had a good day.
Jake, Declan just said you had a cake.
Aww.
Aww, life stuff. Life stuff, I know. Is Grand here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go. Up. Up.
I'm always like not sure if I'm supposed to like play these out. I feel like I'm supposed to save them to untap. I'm gonna go ahead and just pass, especially with the Brazen Borrower drawing here. I can use my mana on that next turn. So, I was just about to say, we're hoping to find this, the Nyx with this, but just drawing it would be better. So, like, next turn, we get to go Owl into tap this for 6, untap it, Cavalier, untap it. Just get to go absolutely crazy on our turn 5. Just like play Anissa or something. Oh, no. Oh, wait, they're probably just going to plus this, right? Because if they down ticket, I get to kill Ashiok. That's fine. Okay, so this is not a big deal. I was like, oh, they're going to bounce my Nyx Lotus, but if they do that, I kill their Ashiok and replay it, then it's not a big deal. And thinking about bouncing my Brazen Borrower... The land draw here is actually pretty good because it lets me play Cavalier of Gales before I Corridor Monitor. That's a little sad. I was hoping to get to keep going here. Let's casual look at the top 13 here. It's one way to clear a brainstorm, huh? I love the animation on that. It's just like, whee!
Cannot intimidate me.
Trigger. You know, if I'm being honest, I really wasn't expecting a lot from this deck. And I've been like this deck's been like really impressive so far. I wonder how well our plan survives contact with the enemy if we if we run into blue-white control, can we play through their interaction? I'm not sure the answer to that, but as far as just raw gold fishing goes, this deck's been a lot better than I was expecting it to be. The Butler, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, I put the Gadwick on top because they're a blue-black deck, so we could get Thought Erasure or Agonizing Remorse, so I want to keep my discard hidden. I think this deck could be good against Mono Red. I think this deck has tools that could be competitive against Mono Red. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about the Ashiok token. I don't know. It's not guaranteed. If they throw away their token, they throw away their token. I feel like... Oh, no. Chat, they're coming for our memes, chat. What did my memes ever do to you? Hide your memes, chat. Oh gosh, I don't even have enough mana to cast this, huh? They killed my 5th land? That's just rude. Yeah, they killed my 5th land and my thing that made 12 mana. I'll take those back. Maybe I'm supposed to just blink Oracle there instead of the Owl. It's the Owl's likely to miss, and this looks at 10 cards to stack the top of my deck, which is appealing. Yeah, so far it looks like R&D thinks that Inverter and Lotus Field are fine. They've assuredly had more than enough data at this point. So if they didn't think those things were fine, they would have addressed them by now. I am, no joke, I came really close to buying paper Magic cards to have a paper Pioneer deck to play in some of the NRG tournaments. And I'm glad I waited. I'd be a salty dog if I had spent money on cards and the format turned into what it turned into. This is probably a Disdainful Stroke matchup, huh? They're a Casualties of War. Casualties of War deck. Yeah, it's incredibly frustrating to me, just like it was always frustrating with Modern, that not only are they not banning these degenerate decks, but they're also not unbanning the cards I actually want to play with. So, like, I really like playing with Felidar Guardian and Saheeli combo, and that the fact that I don't get to play with that while all these other harder to interact with combos that get to play Thoughtseize are still legal. I want them to just, like, pick a direction. Like, give me fun toys to play with or take everyone's toys away. Like, let us play a sweet mid-range format, or let me play a format where I can actually play with the combos I like. In fact, the fact that we hit this awkward middle point in every format sucks. Inverter combo is incredibly more hard to interact with than Copycat, and it's in colors that get to play Thoughtseize and other discard spells, which then takes the fact that it's harder to interact with and makes it even more so difficult to interact with. Sure. I bomb the Thassa for now. Keep my untapper with this. The Jun Croxa deck is not a Pelt Collector deck. It's basically Aristocrat splashing green. As always, you can find the deck list and the deck queue on my website. If you're wondering what are the details of something we're about to play. I'm gonna get Growth Spiraled here. Yeah, the mana is much better too, because one of the weak points in Pioneer is having bad mana. And so the fact that Copycat required you to play 3 or 4 colors in a lot of instances made it less consistent. We played Pelt Collector with Croxa. You could find the video on my YouTube channel. It didn't feel good enough. Felt like that was trying to play a green 1-drop on 1 into a red-black card on 2 is tough. That's true too. The combo pieces in Inverter are better cards on average too. Both 4-mana Jace and Inverter are cards that win the game. Like, they beat you down or they draw a bunch of cards. 6/6 flying creature is nothing to scoff at. Oh, so I guess we're just like hoping they have nothing and we can play Nyx Lotus and then do a bunch of stuff in 2 turns, but the problem with playing Uro with Pelt Collector is Uro's just not a particularly aggressive card. And an archetype that needs to be in with an archetype that would need to be aggressive. Yes, Theros has been out for a month, and I was expecting a month ago that something would change, and it never did. So I actually had a couple of Pioneer submissions waiting in the queue from people that I was waiting to see what they did today, but confirming there's going to be no changes. I'm going to tell folks that I'm not taking more Pioneer stuff. Yeah, I agree, Drunk Owl. Like I've said a lot of times, those decks are probably far from unbeatable. Magic's an incredibly high variance game, but I agree with you that the types of decks that are going to beat those decks are not ones I really want to play a format with. If I wanted to play that type of format, I would just play Modern. Pioneer lost its identity. It lost the thing that made it feel unique. I can respect an opponent with mismatch basics. Gotta go out of your way and put that extra effort in. The old extra ugly. Yeah, it's definitely very interesting, Llama, because like standard's super reasonable right now. Wide range of stuff, even random brews like this one that we're playing, it felt like moderately competitive.
We were born for the hunt.
The survey was long. It felt like reading Questing Beast again for the first time. All right. I think I'm gonna Gadwick for 0, and then Corridor Monitor tap this so I can kill the Garrick. Astrolab is a card that's a lot like Veil of Summer and Once Upon a Time, in that it should just be shift deleted. Just a card that shouldn't exist. The game would be better if it just like got a do over. Hey, Rising Toast, thanks for 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Yikes. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. Maybe I want some Gusts on top of the Strokes. I don't really know what I want to cut, though. One of the problems with playing an engine deck like this is it's tough to cut. It's tough to board too much with a deck like this because you, like, lose the core of what you're doing. It's gonna run it back. Sure, Double Lotus is a little awkward, but they could have counter spells and discard spells post board, so. Am I supposed to Kiora here? I'm probably just supposed to Kiora here, huh? Then hope to draw land and play this. Thanks for the good times. Please no ban if I start arguing with people about Bernie. There's relatively small difference of opinions in comparisons to the gulf between red and blue. Not sure I understand your statement. I'm not sure if that's a pro-Bernie, anti-Bernie, or what you're feeling there. Hi, wife.
Hi.
How are you?
I missed you.
I know my responsibility.
I missed you.
Let's try this.
I missed you. You miss me?
Always. Now I have to ask myself the question, do I want to Nyx Lotus into this? I think I just want a divination here with the Gadwick since we drew that. Thanks, Ted. Let's draw 2. Love you. Yeah, something I've been thinking about that, like, I've like written and deleted a couple tweets on now that I'm not really sure exactly how I want to phrase it is Bloomberg running, especially as a Democrat, really does not sit well with me. I would definitely show up and vote for a like a Klobuchar or a Buttigieg or a Biden in the general election, but honestly, while I expect the Dems to be better than the GOP, any of the Dems, Bloomberg's not really a Democrat, and the fact that he's able to run as a Democrat is kind of sickening. And I don't think that I would vote for Bloomberg in the general election, and I kind of am of the opinion that the Democratic Party is not salvageable if they elect Bloomberg as their candidate. And I know that I'm coming from a place of privilege to say that, I'm sure, but like all of the stuff around Bloomberg, it's fucking rancid. It's really bad. And if we let an oligarch buy the Democratic nomination, the Democrats don't deserve to win. They don't deserve my vote. They haven't earned it. What am I discarding here as my second card? Probably the backup Gadwick. I don't know, backup Gadwick seems important. The backup Stroke, I'm gonna bin the backup Stroke. I don't need 2 of those probably. I want to hold on to the land because we're a little choked on mana at the moment. I agree, Dallas. I have a small Bernie and the Justice Democrats and people like that give me a small amount of optimism.
Here goes nothing.
Wow, now you're getting banned. Fuck you. Fuck you. You feel the same way about Bernie Sanders? Fuck off. That's unreal FUD. That is unreal fear, uncertainty, and doubt not based in reality. That is not welcome here. You obviously either don't know who Bernie is or you don't know who Bloomberg is if you think those two people are even remotely comparable. And you knew what you were doing. You knew the comparison you were about to make was fucked up and wrong because you asked me not to ban you before you made it. That's not how that works here. It's like when someone says, I'm not racist, but, and then says a very racist statement. No, you are. Prefixing you saying something awful doesn't make the awful thing you're about to say okay. Do I just Kiora into Thassa here? I have a couple of choices. The problem with playing Kiora is Kiora just dies. I could hold Stroke plus Brazen Borrower up. How do we beat Ceratops? We kind of just have to go around it. Thassa, Blink Monitor, Untap Lotus. Oh yeah, that's the line. That's the line. Yeah, that's a good catch. This Thassa is free if I just want to pass with these up because of Corridor Monitor. Capadoo, thanks for the half year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Like I said, I'd show up and vote for a centrist. If you think Bloomberg is remotely comparable to a centrist, you don't understand who Bloomberg is and what he's done. Bloomberg is directly responsible for contributing to Republican senators in even the last election cycle. Bloomberg is in part responsible for the acquittal of Donald Trump. He's put his money where his mouth is, and his mouth is in the backing of the Republicans. Which centrists are running at the moment? Amy Klobuchar, Joe Biden, and Pete Buttigieg are all centrist candidates. And I would happily show up and vote for any of them over Donald Trump. I would prefer Bernie get the nomination. I think Bernie is the best chance to bring about fundamental change in the United States. All right, so what if I do this? That was a good draw. It makes me a ton of mana. Actually, this could be a game where we get our devotion up really high and then end up winning with Thassa's Oracle, huh? I couldn't play out Borrower. I only had 2 mana Navier. Oh, wait, I did have 5. Yeah, I should have played out Borrower. You're right. I was thinking I only had 4, but Thassa added 1. Yeah, I totes should have played out Borrower. All right, so I think I want to leave 3 mana up so I can play another Kiora here. So I can do X is 12 on this. And now I get to Corridor Monitor. This deck is such a hoot when it goes off. I get to Corridor Monitor. I get to play this land. Let's start with Cavalier of Gales. This is 5, so I'll have 8 left over. I'll get to draw 4 cards. I'm doing this first so I could draw another untapper. We can keep going. And if we don't draw another untapper, but we did. Oh, I messed up. If I was going to do this, I should have put Fabled Passage on top of my deck, right? 10 out of 10 should have put Fabled Passage on top of my deck. I could have shuffled and now I can't. So I could have cleared these and seen 2 more cards here. Okay, Owl clears the top of my deck. We're up to 21 devotion now. If we find I don't have the mana to scry with Castle, not doing that. I don't have anything else to do with the mana here, right? So I just get another Owl. Hydroid Crisis is thoroughly tapped. Yeah, if we had an Oracle here, we'd win the game at this point, which is awesome. This is 25 devotion. All right, and then I have 9 mana. So I'm going to go ahead and bounce this Hydroid Crisis. And then I'm going to play Agent of Treachery and take 2 of their lands. Why not cut them off of blue? Because black is the one that destroys my stuff. That was above average turn. I did, TZT. As always, John Oliver's a national treasure. All right, here's the blue matchup. This is one I said I wanted to see. So this deck's been running a little bit long. It's running a little bit long for this set, but oh wait, huh? All right, not blue-white control. I was hoping to see us play against blue-white control. Interested to see what that matchup felt like, but. I'm a little upset with myself that I swore at the wanker who came in here and tried to compare Bernie Sanders to Bloomberg. Because now I have to tag this one NSFW language. That's a really good set. Although I suppose tagging it NSFW language will also get it more views, most likely. So, got that going for me. Good. It's good honest clickbait. I only timed that person out. You should ban them, Coons. Please, please ban them.
Sun in the sky, brine on my skin. Great day to fight.
Are we playing a mirror? I wonder if they have Heliod in their deck. That would be sweet. I mean, my content in general on YouTube is explicitly tagged as not for children, so. Hashtag Kappa. I agree, Mr. Tasty. I agree. The Democratic Party deserves to die a swift death, in my opinion, if they nominate Bloomberg. Nominating Bloomberg is not serving the people they claim to serve. Someone came in and tried to tell me that Bernie Sanders was comparable to Michael Bloomberg. Which is just like so unreal nonsense. I just like. It makes me angry to think about it. Biscuit Man, thanks for the 3rd of year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I think I just jammed Cavalier here. I feel like they probably have counter spells in their deck, so like whatever I cast here is not guaranteed to resolve. Yeah, I agree, Ironclad. I agree. I was really hoping to hit a land there, so that way we could go Nyx Lotus into Corridor Monitor next turn. Not hitting a land there feels pretty bad. I guess I'm going to try it again. Yikes. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess I'll attack here. We are thoroughly brainstorm locked. You're not wrong. Well, they're gonna give us another chance to brainstorm into a land next turn, I guess. To be fair, I think they were trying to go on the opposite direction, JWS. I think they were trying to imply that Bernie's an extreme negative thing.
I've got time.
Well, we're slowly getting beaten to death here. I think I'm just supposed to like play Kiora, play Corridor Monitor, untap my Cavalier, just like try not to die by mistake here. And then like hopefully next turn I can go Nyx Lotus into buckets of mana. They have a blue spell here. They could tap my 1/3, but I have a 1/4 as well, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and just untap my land here, because this hopefully encourages them to get really aggressive next turn. Probably going to, like, bounce. Oh, you know what? I should have. Yeah, those are my favorite comparisons too. Like hearing people talk about millionaires versus billionaires really takes me back to teaching intro level stats classes at community colleges and universities, because like people really don't understand how not remotely comparable millionaire and billionaire are. That they think it's reasonable to even mention them in the same breath. Oh. I think I just draw 3 with Gadwick here and hope I get to untap next turn. Would be ideal. No, Bernie Sanders is worth a couple of $1 million, which honestly isn't even unheard of just in general because of his age. Like, he is old. Older people are supposed to have retirement savings up, and like he wrote a successful book where he made a majority of his money from writing a successful book. The old Agent of Treachery or Corridor Monitor, yep. What a weird, scrappy game. Alright, so let's start with Brazen Borrower, bounce your Banishing Light. And let's see if we can manage to go crazy from here. Owl is a good start at going kind of crazy. Thassa. I think I just put back 2 copies of Thassa. Oh, put an artifact or enchantment back so I can get it. That's a good call.
One drop ripples and grows.
We might actually win the game this turn, which is absurd. So I get to go Corridor Monitor, untap Nyx Lotus. And now this makes 12 mana. And now I get to go Owl. There's 33 cards in my deck at the moment, chat. Corridor Monitor. Okay. So I got a couple more untapped. So let's play Brazen Borrower. And then let's go Brazen Borrower, bounce your Banishing Light. I'm up to 18. There's 32 cards in my deck. Keep the new one. I'm going to play Brazen Borrower. I'm going to crack this fetch. Get an island, which takes a card out of my deck. I'm going to play Corridor Monitor and untap this. And then I think it's lethal, right? Yeah, because Gadwick draws a bunch of cards.
I love to make a splash.
So I get to like, there's 31 cards in my deck, so I get to Gadwick for like 20 here. One is not none, chat. One is not none. Man, that was excellent. All right, so they're also a Gadwick deck. So I probably want Mystic Dispute. What just happened? Asking the real questions. Asking the real questions. This Nyx Lotus card might be something to this Nyx Lotus card, chat. Need a shower after, ain't that the truth? Alright, what am I cutting? Is Agent of Treachery not good enough here? I almost feel like this isn't good enough. Like this deck, my devotion to blue is strong, but it's not strong enough for me to vote to Bloomberg. Blades Queen, thanks for the third of a year, welcome back. Don't feel bad about that statement. Bloomberg's not a Democrat. If it's Bloomberg versus Trump, it's 2 Republicans on the ballot. Hopefully Bloomberg just doesn't get the nom. Hopefully it'll be a non-issue. And if we don't end up with Bernie, we get some kind of crappy centrist instead of an oligarch. What are my trims? I don't even know what my trims are. Brazen Borrower is probably worth keeping, especially because they have all the banishing lights. I'm gonna trim a couple of Thassa's oracles, I guess. Maybe Thassa herself is the trim. She just gets exiled. Is Bloomberg even close? He's polling really highly nationally in a very depressing manner. What did we play in Historic today? We played the Phoenix Talrand deck war game. It was actually a really, really good set. But it's not just the president that tears apart America, Larson. Do you understand that Bloomberg literally spent money getting the members of the Congress that tried to and successfully defended Trump after he broke the law from impeachment? Like he is directly responsible for what they did. He helped them get elected. He put his money where his mouth is, and his mouth was in getting Republicans elected. That's the reality. Trump is not the only problem. Calling Trump the only problem misses it. There are so many issues that run deeper than the symptom that is Trump. Trump just showed up and started saying all of the quiet parts loud. He just had the decency to say to your face what Republicans have been doing and saying and thinking behind closed doors for forever. I mean, McConnell's not even any worse than any of the other Republicans in the Senate, Beetle. McConnell's just someone in a safe Senate seat who knows that he's going to get reelected so he can take the burden of people hating him because he's safe. Well, I got to blink my Cavalier. I wonder what's in their hand. They just, like, aren't doing anything, or are they just flooded? right, Talrand, right. That's interesting. So we're really looking for a Nyx Lotus at this point, right? We have an untapper already. Hey, Mike. Mystic Dispute's actually really good here. I think I'm going to throw back the backup Thassa. Hold on to the land for now. I'm not going to attack with this Cavalier of Gales, because if I attack with this Cavalier of Gales, they only have to remove one thing to hit me with Trawler, and I want to make them remove both of these things. Oh, I could have attacked because I'm blinking it. I'm dumb. The attack was free. Chad is right, I'm dumb. Let's fetch before I draw. Definitely was a free attack. Thank you. I realized as soon as the trigger went on the stack, I was like, oh, yeah, oops. New play patterns. Wow, that's just great. All right, perfect. How do I feel about Tom Steyer? I don't know enough about Tom Steyer to really have a strong opinion on him. Based on where Tom Steyer has done in the existing primaries and how he's pulled, I don't think he has a realistic shot. Hey, nice, Devon. Congrats. I'm glad you're enjoying that one. It's definitely one of my more fun ones I've enjoyed. Oh, shuffling here means I lose the land on top of my deck. I think that's fine, though. Oh, perfect. JK. Yeah, if you're looking for the deck list now, the deck list can always be found in the deck queue on my website, the preliminary list that we played. But yeah, the video will be up this evening along with everything else as always. Veto me, rude. I think I'm just passing. Maybe I'm supposed to like be aggressive and play something to... That's super unfortunate. I want to be able to blink that with Thassa this turn. I'm gonna go ahead and counter this. Yeah, we talked about that, Marty. If you're someone who submitted me a Pioneer deck and you submitted it via PayPal and you're not happy with the format anymore, I'm willing to send you a refund to take your deck out of the queue. I'm also willing to let you switch your deck to bumping something else or a deck for a different format. I will, if you're someone who's still happy with Pioneer, I do plan to play through everything that remains in the queue. Eventually, it's going to take me a little bit because I'm not going to play as much as I had been. But I do plan to honor my commitments. But if you're someone else who has become disinterested like me and would like to put your dollars into something else that is acceptable. I'm gonna go ahead and play Corridor Monitor here so I can smack them for 6. Maybe that's wrong. Oh, again, I want this to happen. And before it happens, I think I want to crack this fetch. Well, I had full control mode on there. Not that you'd ever know. Not that you'd ever. I drew a Mystic Dispute, I guess, which is good. Yeah, there will be no updates to Pioneer today, and they told us that if there is an update to Pioneer coming in the future, they will let us know in advance. So if you're not someone that's enjoying Pioneer as a format full of Inverter and other combo decks, you should probably bail out. Help! There's a monster. Is his name Declan? Is he little and 4 and
Jacob.
Oh, Jacob's a monster?
Yeah. Ooh, wonk.
You'll thank me later.
Trying to click my owl and change his color?
Don't worry, I got you.
Oh, brat. Jacob?
Alright, sorry, that one's on me. I'm gonna blame the child on that one. Declan, please go outside and stay out of my office. I love you, bud. So, obviously, should have disputed this. I had a tiny child in my arms, and I missed it. Alright, what am I doing? What am I doing now? I think we're starting by getting this back and seeing where we go from there. Then I think I need to kill Teferi this turn, but I'd have to burn my Gadwick to do it. That's probably not worth it. I think I just Owl plus Borrower here. Right, that's a Nyx Lotus. Go. That clears the Brainstorm too, which is good.
I'll protect you.
See if we can recover from my mistake. Yeah, those are my thoughts, Wargy. I don't have a quick sound bite because there isn't one to give. It depends on actual everything. Can we have another untap and kill you moment? Feels like we have a lot of the tools. Potentially have an untap and kill them moment. I guess I only have one untapper at the moment. We'll see where we go from here. So, do I Gadwick draw 5 here then? I think that's the plan. See where we go from there. They could have Dispute, but they could also just, like, have a Dream Trawler activation. I don't think I can afford to play around Dispute here, so I'm not going to. There are 30 cards in my deck. Hey, thanks for the 1.5 years, Brian. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. If they have a Dispute, they're going to counter this, right? Did they just give their thing hexproof and tap it when I was trying to tap it? I guess they really wanted to be the one to tap it, chat. They really just didn't want me specifically to be the one to tap it. It's definitely a legal play. That's a Cavalier of Gales and another Corridor Monitor. That's excellent. All right, let's crack this fetch. My devotion is at 15. There's 28 cards in my deck after I fetch. Why is attacking down Teferi before I continue useful? In what way is the Teferi relevant on this board? Oh, you're saying because I could Mystic Dispute then? Sure, I think it's pretty obvious at this point they don't have it. But you're right, I should probably do that for good measure. There's 27 cards in my deck. All right, so I'm gonna Thassa's Oracle here to stack the top of my deck, because then I get to Brazen Borrower, bounce the Banishing Light to draw whatever I stack, which hopefully sets me up to win the game. So what do I want to draw here? So there's currently 27 cards in my deck, so that means this this Gadwick should be lethal, right? So I get to bounce this. This deck was really impressive in these games. This was kind of a hoot. So that's 26 cards in my deck. I currently have 24 Devotion. So I actually don't even need Gadwick here. It's just like Thassa, Blink, Thassa's Oracle is enough here. Thanks, Taplands. I appreciate it. Glad we got to end on a high note. Clicked past that counter spell and it was still a-okay. So there's 25 cards in my deck and this is 31 devotion. Blink the Thassa's Oracle at end of turn. Whee! Ooh. That's all right. So that was a 4-1 set. I had, as I've often said, the key to not being disappointed in life is having low expectations going into something, and I wasn't expecting a lot out of this deck, and it ended up being really sweet. This card makes incredible amounts of mana, and Arcanist Owl finding Lotus and finding Corridor Monitor was really, really good. I think we ended up winning the game with the Oracle trigger 3 or 4 times in that set, which was a lot more than I was expecting to see. Meister Clickington, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. One thing we talked about at the start of this set was I wasn't sure if 3 Thassas was correct. After playing that set, I feel like I'm pretty sure that it is. Like, between this, Cavalier of Gales, 3 definitely felt like a pretty reasonable sweet spot. I think we even gummed up on them a little bit a couple of times, and 3 definitely felt more than reasonable. At any rate, we've been playing this deck for almost 2 hours. We're going to roll on into the next one. If you didn't see all of it, it'll be up on my YouTube channel, my website later tonight, as always. We're going to do 1 or possibly even 2 more decks today. We got a great crowd, so if we keep good numbers, we're definitely going to do 2 more. At the very least, we are definitely doing Jund Croxa up next here. So I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I get everything switched over. When we get back, we are going to give this red-black with a small splash for binding and trophy deck a try. So be back in just a few. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.